Yeah, it's pretty common, Simon. A lot of people who come into order flow, they come into volume profile, they're coming from like ICT or the the smart money concepts, right? SMC stuff. It's very similar to volume profile and order flow. It's basically just repackaged, right? They're just taking similar concepts and kind of rewording them and giving them a little bit of their own flavor. The way that I trade is extremely logical because I'm just a very logical person. I like to have things broken down in a very mechanical way. I try to take a lot of guessing out of it. I try to take a lot of predictions out of it. I really want to focus on what is mechanical, what is the chart showing me, how can I base my levels on what the chart is showing me, that sort of thing, right? I really don't like guessing. I don't like predicting. I like being more responsive, responding to what is happening on my screen. And that's why I fall back to volume profile all the time, because volume profile is probably the most logical way you can trade, because the levels are just extremely they're just laid out for you, right? It takes a lot of the guessing out of it. The only subjective thing that happens with volume profile is trying to figure out what type of shape it is. Is it a P shape? Is it a lowercase b? Is it a D shape? Outside of trying to figure out what the shapes are, there's not really anything that's subjective with volume profile. It's very objective, right? The levels are defined very clearly. And you could even argue the shapes are also pretty defined. All you have to do is measure the tails. So if you want to make that very objective as well, you can do that. You can just measure the tails, see which side is longer, which side is more imbalanced. But for the most part, you can just take a look at the profile. It's basically like kindergarten. You're just looking at shapes. Like that's a P shape, right? You could say that's a P shape. This is where it gets a little bit hard because you could argue this is like a trend profile. You could argue that it's a like a capital B maybe. So sometimes they're objective, but most of the time they're very simple. But yeah, long story short, I think volume profile is the most logical way to trade because everything's just laid out for you.